These are the 5 questions I would ask myself before moving to Adelaide in 2026. So moving to Adelaide takes time, money, effort and emotional energy. That is why it is so important to know what to expect before making such a big decisions. So if you are new here, my name is JC. So I have been living in Adelaide for about 3 years now, and based on my personal experience, this question will help you to decide whether moving to Adelaide in 2026 is the right move for you. The first question really depends on your situations and where you're coming from. For me and for a lot of people I know, it's come down to this question. Are you willing to grow and face challenge? So back home, things were done for you without you even realizing it. So things like cooking, cleaning, washing, paying bills. So those little things that you don't notice how much support you had. However, when you live independently, far away from your friends and your family, things start to change. So you start picking up and doing those little things by yourself, even though you feel like it or not. You become fully responsible for your own life. And back home, you got all your time by yourself, focusing on your work, study, and anything you want to do in life. Moving here, you need to learn to manage your time well. Otherwise, half of your time and energy have already gone before you even realizing it. And sometimes, you need to solve the problem by yourself without anyone else to help. Let me give you a real example from my life. So this year, in September, I've been in a car accident, not a very serious one, but someone banged into my car. So it was my first road accident here since moving to Adelaide. So me and the other party, we both were panicked. So I get out of the car and wait for him while he called his dad and come to talk to me. Finally, his dad is calm. We talk and we settle the situation. But here is the difference. So because he lived here with his parents, so his dad come and back him up. While for me, I have no one to back myself. I only have myself to back myself up. So the only option that I have is to be strong, independent, and face the challenge on my own. So why am I sharing you these stories? Because I want you to know that moving here, life will throw a challenge at you. And you need to be ready to carry yourself, deal with the challenges on your own, and moving forward even though things get hard. So the question is, are you willing to grow and face challenge that Adelaide will teach you? Because you're gonna learn and experience a lot of things in here. There is a very powerful quote from Jim Rohn that I want you to listen.
Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better.
So second question that you need to ask yourself before moving to Adelaide, and the most important question of all is, what is your goal coming here to Adelaide? Because those goals will push you through hard time. And there are 2 types of goals, short-term goals and long-term goals. So for a short-term goal, things like moving away from burnt out, visiting friends and family, coming here to work like for 3 months. So if you are in that situation, you don't need to worry too much about it because you just come here to explore and experience things, and that is okay. But for a longer term goal, so things like PR, or you come from a different country or state to settle down here in Adelaide, you need to have a clear reason why you want to move to Adelaide, because things will get hard, and they will be, and those reasons will back you up. For example, I moved to Adelaide for long-term goals. So I love this city, the people and the culture, but loving alone is not strong enough for me to push through hard time. So one of the strongest reasons is for my future kids to have a better education and a quality lifestyle. And I have a strong belief that Adelaide would offer me that. So I'm willing to push through all those discomfort and challenges. So I'm not just coming to Adelaide to live and work. I come here with a purpose and intention. So what is your goal coming here to Adelaide? Write down and comment down below if you are comfortable to share your goal. The third question that you need to ask yourself is, what kind of lifestyle you are actually looking for? But before you can answer this question, you need to understand what a daily life in Adelaide is really like. Adelaide is known for its laid-back lifestyle, so shop often close early around 5 p.m. on the weekdays. So late night shopping is not really a thing here. There are not constant events or concert here. For example, if a Taylor Swift tour come to Australia, chances are the show will be in a bigger city like Sydney or Melbourne, not in LA. But personally, I love living in LA because I love quiet weekend, less crowded beaches and coffee, and no longer wakes you when you go shopping or you go to a restaurant. To me, LA give me enough space to grow and a good work-life balance. So when you ask yourself this question honestly, you will have a clearer picture of what your everyday life will look like in LA. You can also check out my pros and cons video to get a better understanding about LA. The next question that you need to ask yourself is, can I actually afford the cost of living in LA? Let's be honest, you're probably not gonna land your first corporate job within the first few weeks of arriving here. For most people, it takes time. For me, it took me 3 months to get my first retail job at Bully and another 3 months to get my corporate job. So you might take less or more time than me, but still it takes a bit of time. So ask yourself, how long can I realistically support myself without a job? And do I have any emergency fund to cover any unexpected things? Most of the financial experts recommend that you have at least 3 months of living expenses to cover unexpected things like medical bills, car repairs, or longer than expected job search. On average, the cost of living in LA range from $1,500 to $3,000 per person per month, depending on your lifestyle and your spending habit. So this include rent, grocery, transportation, utility, and other necessary. So if you come to study, that would include your university fee and other study-related costs. So I won't go into all the details number here because I already have a separate videos about cost of living in LA. You can go and check it out on my channel. So do your own research, calculate your lifestyle and see whether you can afford to live here in LA. The last question you need to ask yourself is, are you willing to work your way up? A lot of us coming to LA with years of experience, qualifications, and expectation. And that is completely okay. Before I moved to LA, my plan is to work in a corporate job straight away after my graduation because firstly, I already have my qualification. Secondly, I already have the experience back home. But things didn't go as planned. As I mentioned earlier, it took me 6 months to get my first corporate job. This is not to scare you, but to help you to set a realistic expectations about the job market here. I remember one of my colleagues at Woolley. Back in his home country, he was a software engineer manager. But here in LA, he worked alongside with me as an online personal shopper. So my question to you is, are you willing to take a step back in order to move forward? I know for many of us, including myself, these are the jobs that we would never have reconsidered back home. But trust me, your first job in LA is not about status or title. It's about learning the system, understanding the workplace culture, improving your communication skill, and building the local experience here. So think of it as a temporary, a stepping stone for you to reach your dream job. So if you're ready to grow and face whatever challenge that life will throw at you, you have a clear goal and intentions of moving to LA. You love the laid-back lifestyle that LA have to offer, and you can afford the cost of living here and willing to work your way up. I reckon you're ready to pack your bag and move to LA. And that is completely okay if you haven't figured out those questions yet, because those questions are here to help you to manage your expectations before moving to LA. And as always, if you find this video is helpful, please give me a like and a subscribe to see more videos about life here in LA. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!